All right, so we're back for another day of reading. Again, like we've been doing, you're going to see me make some mistakes because that's part of the natural concept of reading. I do need to pull in a little closer here to the microphone for this particular, and I need to turn off the phone. You're, of course, welcome to comment, but again, I will actually have my I'll actually have the book in front of what I'm doing, so I probably won't see your comments. I will come back afterwards and reply to any comments that you have. I'm really excited to be here and do this with you, and I want you to just see the process because I want you to be encouraged to share your voice. And when you write a book, you need to be the one who reads the book because your book is part of your valuableness. It's part of your visible and valuability framework that you need to do. Okay. So, and like I've been showing you, when you mess up, you just pause, wait for a few seconds. That leaves a break in the audio, and that allows the technician to kind of go through and see, oh, here's a place that I need to fix. It's not about perfection. If you mess up a word, go back and re-record it. If you say a word weird, maybe you say a word weird. That's okay too. It's about being the best you and bringing out the you that is you into the world. Okay? With that said, let's continue on with the next chapter of How Can I Help You Today? The challenge of giving. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Giving comes with its own challenges, and often it's not easy. Even for someone like me, who has always been a giver, there have been times when I've questioned whether I was following God's leading or if I just had gone off the deep end, as it were. Because life has a way of testing you. It brings you to the moments where you have to ask yourself, do you really mean it? Even though giving has been a natural part of who I am since I was a child, that doesn't mean it. Even though giving has been a natural part of who I am since childhood, that doesn't mean it hasn't. Even though giving has been a natural part of who I am since childhood, that doesn't mean it has always come without struggles. What do you do when all you have is $1 left and you feel compelled to give that dollar away? Now replace that dollar with any amount. It doesn't matter. If it's a dime or if it's $100,000 or even $1 billion, the challenge remains the same. If that's all you have and you're called to give it all away, can you do that? Now let me be clear. I'm not saying you should go out, sell everything. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying you should go sell everything you own and give it all away. It's not about a rule or rigid principle. It's about the spirit of the thing. And that spirit is where most people get stuck. All too often, we find ourselves focused not on the act of giving, but on what we're going to get from having given. What you focus on grows. Whether your mind, what you focus on grows. Wherever your mind is, wherever your heart is, wherever things your eyes are on, those are the directions you're going to go. One of the first things they teach Huh. Did we already read this? Huh. I guess not. Okay. What you focus on grows. Wherever your mind is, wherever your heart is, wherever things your eyes are on, those are the directions you're going to go. Again, one of the first things they teach you when you begin driving is to keep your eyes on the road. If you look off to the side, your hands have a tendency to turn in that direction. It's the same thing with giving. If we focus on what we're going to receive, our actions follow that expectation. But if we focus on truly blessing others, the power of our giving is unlocked. I remember listening to a teaching on giving, and at first I was encouraged by the message. But the longer I listened, the more I realized the speaker was talking about giving as a way of obligating someone. Give first, and that person will feel like they owe you something. That moment stopped me in my tracks. I had to give myself, I had to ask myself, what's in my heart when I give? Do I think about the blessing? Do I think about blessing the other people? Do I think about their needs? Am I simply giving as a natural outflow of who I am, or am I giving just for what's in it for me? Unfortunately, this mindset of unfortunately, this mindset of giving, unfortunately, this mindset of giving to get is deeply ingrained in both our churches and our businesses. We're told that if we tithe, God will bless us beyond all measure. But we've broken it down into a transaction, much like the Pharisees who counted every single leaf on the tree and made sure to give, much like the Pharisees who counted every single leaf on a tree and made sure to give God exactly 10%. Instead of giving out of faith, we expect heaven to pour down immediate rewards in return. But here's what I believe: it's not about a tenth, it's not about a formula. It's about the truth that all I have and all I am, all I have belongs to God. Do I tithe? Absolutely. And almost always I give far beyond 10%. But that's not because I'm expecting a return. It's because I know that when I give, I align myself with a flow of abundance that goes far beyond what I could ever measure. When we give, it's not about what it costs us, it's about what it does for the receiver. We never know what someone else is going through. This is true in our business as well. Business culture is steeped in the idea of give and take, and most of the time the equation leans heavily towards the take. We hear phrases like, we hear phrases like, give generously to your community so that give generously to your community so that they will come back and buy from you. Add value first so your prospects feel obligated to do business with you. But what happens when you strip all the exceptions out of the equation? But what happens when you strip all the expectations out of the equation? When we give simply because we can. Giving is about meeting the need of somebody else with a thing that you can do. Sometimes that's money, sometimes it's knowledge, time, or even just a smile. And while those acts of kindness can feel rewarding, there are moments when they don't feel good at all. Sometimes you'll give a warm smile to a cashier. They'll snap back at you, bitter or exhausted. Sometimes you'll offer help to a client and they'll take advantage of it. I know, I've felt that before. I've had moments when I've resented my own generosity, where the demands of the clients felt overwhelming, where people's expectations of me felt suffocating. It's easy to feel like you're being taken advantage of. And in almost every case, the people we serve aren't intending to take advantage of us. It's just that they too are trapped in the same what's in it for me mindset that we're trying to break free from here. In business, we teach sales strategies that focus on what's in it for the customer, WIIFM, what's in it for me. And while that's effective from a marketing standpoint, it can be dangerous when it seeps into our hearts, because when we start approaching people with what's in it for me, even when we give, we're not truly giving. So here's my challenge. What if we removed the hidden expectations from our giving? What if when we ask someone, how can I help you today, we truly meant it, with no thought of what we'd get in return? Now, I won't pretend that this mindset shift won't make you feel odd at first. People around you, friends, family, employees, will worry about you. They'll tell you to be careful, to protect yourself, to stop being so generous before you get burned. And that's okay. Their concerns come from love. But this is where you have to check your spirit. Where are you coming from? Are you leading with genuine care? Are you giving because you have to or because you want to? There's an old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Do you really embrace that? Do you lead your business with caring first? Or do you have the what's in it for me running through the back of your mind? I won't lie to you. There are moments where you feel like you're swimming upstream, like no one else understands the way you choose to give. You may not have anyone in your life encouraging you in this at first. But trust me, magic is going to happen. When you give freely, when you serve without expectation, when you truly learn how can I help you today, shifts everything. Then something inside of you shifts. I promise you, giving is always worth it. Take action. Here are a few ways you can live out the challenge of giving life. Number one, stretch yourself. Give a little. Number one, stretch yourself. Give a little more than feels comfortable this week. Notice how it challenges your mindset. Number two, help someone who can't repay you. Give time, money, or energy to someone who has no way of giving back. Number three, reflect on past blessings. Think of a time when you received unexpected generosity. How did it shape you? How can you pass that forward? Zombie living rather than giving. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi. I'll be honest with you, giving up is easy. In fact, not living in your purpose, not fulfilling that passionate part of who you are, is one of the easiest things in the world to do. Losing your passion happens far too easily. And once it's gone, it can feel like it never will come back. I know, because I lived in that space. In my very first book, I described it as being a zombie. I think about it for a moment. A zombie is a creature that's dead, but still walking around. Think about it for a moment. A zombie is a creature that's dead but still walking around. There's no life in it, no passion, no purpose. It's just existing, moving through the world, spreading its emptiness to everyone it encounters. And when we lose our passion, we become the same way. We wake up, go through the motions, and maybe even accomplish things, but we're not alive. Here's the scary part. Even as a zombie, even when you feel numb and lifeless, here's the scary part. Even as a zombie, even when you feel numb and lifeless, you're still affecting the people around you. You might be showing up at 1% or 2% of your full potential. And even then, you could still be making an impact. That's how powerful you are. But what if you were at 100%? For nearly 2 decades, I lived in that zombie state. I won't go into all the trauma, struggles, or excuses that kept me there, because in the end, none of those things really matter. What matters is recognizing whether or not you're really showing up in your own life. Ask yourself, are you fully alive, or are you just going through the motions? For many people, the zombie state begins with criticism, misunderstandings, or personal failures. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe a business failed. Maybe you put your heart into something and it didn't work out. And instead of seeing those things as just events, painful, yes, but still only moments in time, you start defining yourself by them. You begin to believe you are a failure, your lack, your betrayal, and slowly you stop showing up. I see it all the time, and I hate it when I do it myself. It breaks my heart when I see others doing it too, because I know the deepest truth. You were created for so much more. When we don't show up as the truest version of ourselves, it doesn't just take toll on us, it affects everyone around us. The world is missing you. And it's even deeper than that. It affects our very spirit. When we aren't living in our purpose, we can't feel it. When we aren't living in our purpose, we can feel it. It weighs on us like gravity pulling us down, deeper and deeper into discouragement, despair, and hopelessness. And before we know it, we're stuck. We feel dead inside, disconnected from the life we were meant to live. But I don't want to leave you in that place. I've been there, and I know what it takes to climb out. So let me reach a hand out to you. Let me show you the way forward, the way back to life, the power of giving to heal yourself. There's a simple but powerful psychological principle that can change everything. Our brains are literally incapable of holding on to negative emotions while we are in a state of giving. Think about that for a moment. You can't be fully immersed in fear, anger, or discouragement and be giving at the same time. The problem is, when we're deep in zombie state, the last thing we want to do is give. We want to hide. We feel exposed, like everyone around us can see through the mask we wear and knows exactly how broken we feel inside. But here's the truth. They don't see it. They're too consumed with their own struggles. Every single person you encounter has a need. And guess what? You can meet that need. Even if you feel completely drained, even if you feel like you are nothing left, even if you feel completely drained, even if you feel like you have nothing left to offer, you do. Maybe right now, all you can manage to say is thank you to a stranger. Maybe you can hold the door for somebody. Maybe you can simply say, "How can I help you today?" and truly mean it, even if only just for that moment. Even if it feels fake at first, even if it feels like you're putting on an act, do it anyway. Take my hand, step forward. And if you have come back and reread this, and if you have to, come back and reread this chapter over and over again. Do it. Small acts that can shift everything. Start small. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you in line. Say thank you to a store clerk who looks Say thank you to a store clerk who looks exhausted. Smile at someone even if they don't smile back. Pray for someone walking down the street even if they don't feel like praying for yourself. Pray for the people walking down the street even if you don't feel like praying for yourself. If you can't bring yourself to step outside, go online and post something encouraging. Share a quote that inspired you. Write a message that simply says, "I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I just want you to know I see how amazing you are." Giving is the solution to the zombie state. I'm not saying you instantly feel better. This isn't some magic formula where one act of kindness suddenly heals everything. But every time you shift your focus to others, every time you give, you take another step out of the darkness. And here's the most powerful part: it's impossible to stay a zombie while you're giving. You can't give and remain disconnected from your purpose because your purpose is tied to your ability to serve others. You cannot give and remain disconnected from your purpose because your purpose is tied to your ability to serve others. So let me ask you, what can you do for someone else today? How can you give? Not for yourself, not for what you might get in return, but simply because someone has a need and you can meet it. Start there. Because the moment you do, you are no longer a zombie, you're alive again. Take action. Here are a few ways you can get out of zombie living. 1. Shake up your routine. Do one thing differently today to wake yourself up. Take a new route, try a new activity, or talk to someone new. 2. Serve to heal. The next time you feel stuck or unmotivated, do something for someone else. It could be as simple as smiling at a stranger. 3. Commit to one selfless act daily. No matter how small, make helping others part of your daily life. Embracing my true self. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. I love ChatGPT. It would be easy to be addicted to it. The ability to explore ideas, ask deeper questions, and pull on threads of thought until they unravel the ability to explore ideas, ask deeper questions, and pull on threads of thought until they unravel into profound revelations. It's incredible. And it's played a role in one of the most transformative moments of my life. For more than a year, I had been wrestling with a question that wouldn't leave me alone. Who am I really? The question wasn't new. I'd asked it before, maybe in different words, but never with the level of urgency I felt now. Because this wasn't just about me. It wasn't about ego, business, or even success. This was about calling, about destiny. And once I asked, who am I really? And once I asked, who am I really? The next question hit just as hard. What should I be doing? I knew I was called to serve, to give, to be a light in the world, but how? In what way? With what words? I sat in front of my screen. Asking ChatGPT question after question, hoping that somehow I could unearth something that had been buried deep inside of me all along. But at first, I wasn't getting anywhere. I was using trite, generic, motivational words, phrases that sound good, but didn't hit my soul. I wasn't looking deep enough. I was playing at the surface when I needed to dive into the depths. Then, about 2 hours in, I remembered something I had learned years ago about ancient languages, that sometimes a single word could mean entire paragraphs, that there were words so profound, so layered with meaning, that they carried within them the weight of transformation. And so I pivoted. Instead of trying to define myself with modern language, I turned to ancient Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. Was there a word that encapsulated everything? Was there a word that encapsulated everything I felt but couldn't quite articulate? A word that summed up my mission? Then it hit me. What about Scripture? Now, you know I'm a third generation minister. My life has been built around the wisdom and power of the Bible. Surely, if I was going to find the word that defined my purpose, it would be there, right? I started searching, and after another 2 hours, I found Isaiah 60, verse 3. Your light shall draw all of the kings of the earth. I sat back in my chair. That's it. That's the calling. To shine so brightly. To shine so brightly that people are drawn to that light, not to me, but to the truth, to the message, to the transformation they need. And then I did something that changed everything. I broke down the verse in ancient Hebrew, looking for a word that could hold all of that power, a word that wasn't about shining, but about movement, about urgency, and about being a catalyst that doesn't just glow passively, but ignites something in others. That's when I found it. Zeraz. I stared at it on the screen. 4+ hours, but I had found it. The word purpose. 4+ hours, but I had found it. The word, the purpose, the passion I had lost. What Zeraz means. Zeraz is more than a word. It's a force, a calling, a movement. In Hebrew, Zeraz carries powerful layers of meaning. Rapid change. It doesn't just wait. It moves, it acts, it ignites. Fiery passion. It's filled with urgency, zeal, and unstoppable momentum. Fiery passion. It's filled with urgency, zeal, and unstoppable momentum. Transformation. It's not passive. is a catalyst that awakens, disrupts, and inspires. Spiritual power, it draws down something bigger than us, something divine, something eternal. Let's go. In modern Hebrew, it's a phrase that means hurry up, let's get moving, let's make something happen now. That's it. That's what I was missing. I wasn't just there to help people shine. I was I wasn't just here to help people shine. I was here to help them ignite, to push past the fear, the doubt, the hesitation, and step into the fire of their calling. Zeraz and the power of selfless giving. And this is where it all clicked, because the heartbeat of my life, the core of my business, has always been selfless giving, serving others without ever asking what's in it for me. Zeraz is the embodiment of that. It's not about passive generosity. It's about being a catalyst for transformation, a force of momentum in people's lives. When you live by Zeraz, you don't wait for the right moment. You don't hesitate. You act. You see a need, you meet it. You see a person struggling, you lift them up. You have a gift, you give it freely. This is why my company had to change, why my branding had to evolve, because I wasn't just in the business of helping people succeed. I was in the business of helping them move, to break free, to accelerate, to ignite, reconnecting with my purpose. When I understood Zeraz, everything became clear. This wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about my business. It was about something much bigger, a movement of catalysts, people willing to stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop holding back, and start stepping boldly into their purpose. Zeraz is for the dreamer who has waited too long, the entrepreneur who knows they're meant for more, the leader who wants to build something that lasts, the giver who wants to change the world. In that word that fuels action, momentum, fire. And as I sat there staring at that word, I realized I had found my fire again. This is my mission. This is my calling, to ignite, to move, to Zeraz. Are you ready to ignite? The question is no longer, who am I, or what should I be doing? The question is, are you ready? Are you ready to stop waiting, to stop hesitating, to stop holding back? Are you ready to ignite your purpose, your business, your impact? Because this is your moment. Let's go. Take action. Here are a few ways you can embrace your true self. 1. Find your fire. Journal about what excites you, energizes you. What could you do for hours without getting tired? Number 2, ask yourself, who am I really? Spend 10 minutes writing down everything that comes to mind without filtering it. Number 3, speak your truth out loud. Say your purpose, passion, or dreams out loud today, even if only to yourself. We're going to stop there for today. That's a great place to leave you, in your Zeraz, in your passion, in your purpose, in the spark and the fire that you are born and meant for. There's more still to come. There's about 97 pages of this book, and we're on about page 57, so we're a little more than halfway through. And again, there's some faux pas in it. There's some errors. There's a lot of times I had to go back, and that's good. I wanted you to see what recording a book is really like, what's sparking the fire in you. You see, you want to write your words. You want to put them out there. Speak them absolutely first and foremost. And that's why I do speaking to write. Speak the words out. Put the words out then in writing. And then go back and reread them. Let your ears hear the amazing brilliance that you put out. The first disciple, if you will, to use a spiritual word, of your transformation should be you. And I hope it will be. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate who you are. Thanks so much. And again, we'll be doing more of this book over the next few days. I hope you have a great week.